Mr. Jamel Thomas. How are you?
I'm good.
That's awesome. And of course, most people know you as Proper.
Yeah, Proper.
Proper. Okay. Well, I'm really, really thrilled to have you here. We've known each other for quite some time, and I've followed you with your music, and you're going to perform a bit for us in a few minutes, yeah?
Yes, I will, definitely.
Awesome, awesome. But the reason why I'm excited is because all those years that I've known you, I did not know that you are a survivor of Hurricane Katrina.
I usually keep that on the low.
Yeah, well, not no more. You're on TV. So, why were you in New Orleans? Were you living down there, visiting school?
I was my mom moved me back. Me and my brother back with our father because he's from New Orleans.
Okay.
So we could have some experience and time with him. In the teenage aspects of years since being
how
to
be a man, all that type of
stuff. Yeah, little rebels and puberty kicks in and everything else goes sideways. So try to get us back on our focus. So, we moved out there to live with him for a bit.
And so, how long were you out there before Hurricane Katrina?
I was there for almost 2 years.
Okay, so you were familiar with the area.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, what was it like to be in New Orleans during such a traumatic experience?
I remember when the day it actually happened, me and my brother were like really looking outside and just seeing everything like going like really haywire and like crazy with the floods and the roofs coming off and whatnot. And then like the next day after when we woke up, it was like we walked outside and it was like an end of the world experience. Like literally like nobody in the streets, cars abandoned, dogs wandering, left in houses stranded, and it was like a whole different world of experience. Like really felt like the world was like perishing with like the last survivors in that type of instance of feeling. But me and my brother being from Bermuda, and that's right when Fabian also happened. Okay. So when we went out there, we just came from that experience. Well, so it was like being able to transcend in it was easier format for us compared to the Americans out there. As soon as they heard a hurricane, oh my God, we're gonna die, tsunami.
Well, honestly, I think a lot of Bermudians were watching TV.
We got to guarantee the gas thing. The people are piling up all the groceries they can in the car, trying to leave as fast as possible.
Yeah.
But
So what happened to your dad's house?
Oh yeah, the roof got torn off from that situation because he was living with his girlfriend at the time. Though initially we were first living with our granny, but they all flew out to Houston and kind of left us stranded.
Really?
Yeah, they bailed on us because actually we went to check on them 2 days before the hurricane happened, and they changed the bolts on the doors.
Oh my goodness!
Everything was
so it was a lot. It was a lot of other things going on.
Yeah, it was a lot of different mixed emotions coming from the perspective of living in America. They're out there in the type of situation like in Bermuda when things like that occur, families stay together and really fit in with one another. But out in the States, it's more like fend for yourself, regardless what your relation is. So it was a hard bite in that perspective. And then she'd have ditched us and didn't even tell us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But in the end, we stayed strong and especially my brother, staying together in the situation.
That's good. Did that really strengthen the bond that you have, the brotherly relationship?
Most definitely. But with also just having to be out there, the two Bermudians, and technically having to try to fend for ourselves in those situations. Then when it came to the hurricane itself, it just only had us to be in more of a bond, strength together with making sure that we're there for each other. And we're dealing with the situation in the best way we could.
I can just imagine two young men. I know one of the things, I know this might sound really weird that I'll bring it up, but I know in New Orleans, their burial system is different, and the amount of bodies that they were talking about, they were found, some they couldn't identify whether they were, indeed deceased already, and some, it was just a lot going on. Was that a scary experience within itself? Because I know when I was hearing that, I was like, oh my goodness, I couldn't imagine walking down the street.
We didn't really have radios.
Okay, so you didn't know it.
We didn't get to listen to anything. More like they're trying to get food and shelter. We went to this one shelter in Canada where we were living in the area of Louisiana. And, just to see the people's interactions really high.
Yeah.
Now the food, everything tasted like grilled oatmeal. Everything that.
I'm sorry, you said you were in a shelter?
We stayed in a shelter for a week and a half.
Okay.
Till we guys went and moved to the next area with our father and his girlfriend. But
and then from there, I know your mom was quite instrumental in making sure that you guys were okay. And so did you return back to Bermuda right after that?
Yeah, it was. It took what I say 2 weeks when she found us.
Okay.
Through different. She didn't actually tell the whole perspective. She had like, mother's instincts to get her boys was the ending on her mind, any means, any ways possible.
Because she couldn't reach you all that time, right?
Not at all, until she found the house. To the day she don't want to tell us how, but she said, I was looking.
Yeah.
At any means, way I was going to find you boys, dead or alive.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing that perspective with us, because again, watching it on TV and, it shook the whole world, but to physically be there in that space and time, you've definitely shared a big piece of you.
I'll say the one thing where the impact really I felt the most is when we guys went with our father and his girlfriend and their children to ride around to a grocery store to try to, since a lot of people were looting, not stealing.
Yes.
Looting, quite different of the difference between,
looting, stealing, okay.
Two completely different situations. One survival, one just for self-betterment.
Okay.
So within that, it was Walmart we actually went to first, and to see the people raiding into the stores is like, it was like really crazy. I was seeing
survival of the fittest.
This one Muslim lady, and the people running into the store, she threw her newborn baby in the air.
Oh my goodness.
Really threw her child just to run in to get for herself.
Wow.
That's where again the whole for yourself, like in Bermuda, everyone thinks for each other, regardless through the situations that we go through. But out there, it was like really like hacking, and there was someone caught the baby, and we were like, oh my God, these people really lost their minds. But it was that's what really hit me of understanding, people really have to. This is the real thing that's going down, and then hearing the helicopters every second of your house flying around. Though with my father's situation, though, he went in to get some towels because we didn't have a bath for like a couple of days, and he was coming out of one of the store because the South is still racist. Largely in every way possible, and he got a gun stuck to his face.
Oh wow!
With from the police, and he was in jail for like 2 months from that situation. Where with me and my brother, when we were trying to walk home, a police gentleman helped us and took us to our houses. With seeing us walking from that type of situation. So.
Wow. Well, again, I think that you're an extremely strong man to have endured that. And I know you're now a father, and you're an artist, and you're going to actually bless us with a couple of selections this evening,
Yes.
So what can we expect from you? How are you going to end the first episode of On the Couch?
With the positivity of always, and we're bringing energy, but uniqueness of my own styles to it,
So what's the song called?
So Life is Wonderful.
Life is Wonderful. Very fitting. Okay. Well, when we get back in just a few minutes, we're going to hear from Proper. Life is Wonderful.
On the couch is